The hum of busy checkout lanes filled the air at Greenfield Grocery that Tuesday afternoon. Customers bustled through their errands, some chatting, others scrolling through their phones as they waited in line. But at Lane 5, the mundane rhythm of the store was about to take an unexpected turn. An elderly woman, her hands trembling slightly, stood at the counter, clutching a worn coin purse. She was unaware of the storm brewing behind her. A frustrated cashier, impatient customers, and judgmental stares. The tension in the air was thick. What no one realized was that standing just a few feet away in the same line was none other than Keanu Reeves, Hollywood's most beloved star, hidden in plain sight. What happened next would be a lesson in kindness no one in that store would forget. Number 1. A kindness measured in coins. The grocery store was bustling with life that chilly Tuesday afternoon. The air smelled faintly of freshly baked bread and ground coffee, mingling with the chatter of customers and the steady beeping of registers. The line at Checkout 5 snaked its way past the candy shelves and magazine racks, where an older woman stood, clutching a small, worn coin purse. Her name was Mrs. Eleanor Abbott. A widow of 15 years, she lived modestly on her late husband's pension in a small apartment down the street. Every Tuesday, she came to the store to pick up her groceries: bread, milk, eggs, and occasionally, a treat for herself if she could afford it. Today, her treat was a single dark chocolate bar, carefully placed on the conveyor belt behind her staples. The cashier, a young man named Travis, exhaled loudly as he scanned her items. His impatience was palpable, and Eleanor could feel the eyes of those in line behind her. The weight of their stares made her hands tremble as she reached into her coin purse. She had counted the coins at home, $13.76 exactly, but still, she worried she might have miscalculated. Travis drummed his fingers on the counter. "Ma'am, we're kind of in a hurry here," he said, loud enough for the line to hear. "I'm sorry, dear," Eleanor replied softly, her fingers fumbling as she pulled out a handful of coins. "I have it all here. Just give me a moment." Travis rolled his eyes. "Coins again? There are faster ways to pay. It's 2025, not 1925. A few chuckles rippled through the line. Eleanor's cheeks flushed as she placed the coins on the counter. She began counting them out, but her nervousness caused her to lose track. She started over, her embarrassment growing with each passing second. "Unbelievable," Travis muttered under his breath. Then, louder, "If you can't keep up, maybe you should shop somewhere else." Eleanor froze, her eyes welling up with tears. The murmurs behind her grew louder, discontented grumbles from customers eager to move on with their day. But one person stood silent. A tall man in a black beanie and a plain t-shirt stood directly behind Eleanor. He had been observing the interaction quietly, his expression unreadable. Though he wore no disguise, most people hadn't noticed who he was. Keanu Reeves. He had slipped into the store unnoticed, as he often did when running errands. Fame had never been something he sought, and he preferred to live as humbly as possible. But now, his brow furrowed as he watched the scene unfold before him. Eleanor, flustered, began apologizing. "I'm so sorry for holding everyone up. I didn't mean to." "Enough," Travis snapped, sweeping the coins off the counter into a pile. "This is ridiculous." The line fell silent. Keanu stepped forward, his calm demeanor exuding authority. "Hey," he said, his deep voice cutting through the tension. "Is this how you treat your customers?" Travis looked up, his face flushing. "Sir, Keanu raised a hand to stop him. "No excuses. She's doing her best. Show some respect." The room seemed to hold its breath. Eleanor turned to look at the man who had spoken up for her. Recognition flickered in her eyes, but she quickly averted her gaze, not wanting to draw attention to him. Keanu smiled gently at her. "Take your time, ma'am," he said. "We're not in a rush." Eleanor nodded, her hands steadying as she resumed counting her coins. Keanu bent down to help, arranging the coins into neat stacks. Together, they quickly tallied the amount. "It's all here," Keanu said, sliding the stacks toward Travis. "Every penny." Travis swallowed hard, his bravado evaporating. He scanned the last item and bagged Eleanor's groceries without another word. As Eleanor gathered her bags, she turned to Keanu, her voice trembling. "Thank you, young man. I don't know how to repay your kindness." Keanu smiled. "You don't owe me anything. Just take care of yourself. Okay?" Eleanor nodded, her eyes glistening with gratitude. She shuffled toward the exit, her head held a little higher than before. Number 2. The Ripple Effect. The store was unusually quiet as Keanu stepped forward to place his items on the conveyor belt. Just a few things. A loaf of bread, some fresh produce, and a bottle of olive oil. Travis avoided eye contact as he scanned the items. "You know," Keanu said casually, "you have the power to make someone's day better or worse. It's a choice." Travis nodded stiffly. "Yes, sir." Keanu paid for his groceries and, as he picked up his bag, turned back to the line of customers still waiting. "Be kind," he said, his voice carrying a quiet conviction. "You never know what someone else is going through." With that, he left the store, disappearing into the crisp afternoon air. Number 3. A small gesture, a big impact. Word of the incident spread quickly. A young woman in line had recorded part of the exchange and posted it online, where it went viral within hours. People praised Keanu's humility and kindness, but what surprised them most was his call for empathy. It wasn't about him, it was about the message. The video reached Travis's manager, who called him in for a meeting the next day. "This isn't just about PR," the manager said. "It's about treating people with dignity. We're better than this." Travis, chastened, began reflecting on his actions. He realized he had been letting his own frustrations spill over onto customers. Determined to do better, he started treating everyone with more patience and kindness. Eleanor, unaware of the online storm, went about her life as usual, but something had changed. The next time she visited the store, Travis greeted her with a warm smile and offered to help bag her groceries. She was hesitant at first but eventually accepted, surprised by the genuine kindness in his demeanor. Number 4. A legacy of kindness. Months later, a small handwritten note arrived at a Los Angeles fan mail address often used by Keanu Reeves. Inside was a letter from Eleanor. "Dear Mr. Reeves, I don't know if you'll remember me, but you helped me one afternoon when I was struggling at the grocery store. Your kindness reminded me that there are good people in this world, and it inspired me to pay it forward. I've started volunteering at the local food bank, where I meet so many people who just need a little help to get by. I hope I can pass on even a fraction of the compassion you showed me that day. With gratitude, Eleanor Abbott." Keanu read the letter and smiled, folding it carefully before tucking it into his jacket pocket. For him, it had been a small moment, a simple act of kindness. But for Eleanor and for everyone who had witnessed it, it had been so much more. Because kindness, like coins, adds up, and sometimes it only takes one person to remind the world of its worth. Kindness doesn't cost a thing, but its impact is priceless. Keanu's small act of compassion reminds us all that even in the smallest moments, we have the power to make the world a better place. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this post, subscribe for more heartwarming stories, and share it with someone who could use a reminder of the power of kindness. Let's spread positivity, one story at a time.